Hello everyone, welcome to Pokédex, the channel where I build decks for the Pokemon trading card game. This is the second expanded decks that I show you guys this week. This is another deck from the Arena Cup in Germany last weekend, and this one was piloted by Tobias Thessing, I hope I'm saying his name right, to a top 4 in the tournament. It's a very interesting deck. It's Vespiquen and Accelgor. I say it's interesting because these guys kinda seem like very different Pokemon in that Accelgor is more controlling, with deck and cover dealing 50 damage, paralyzing and poisoning the opponent's Pokemon, and then getting shuffled back into the deck. And then Vespiquen being a really explosive guy, dealing a lot of damage with B Revenge. But I guess they have some stuff in common. They are both grass types and they both attack for double colorless energy, so that seems nice. I've never seen the deck being played, nor have I played it myself, but if I had to guess, I'd say you probably start the game with Accelgor. You deck and cover and deal the first amounts of damage while protecting your double colorless energy because they get shuffled back into the deck, so the opponent never has a chance to play hammer on you. And then later you just go with Vespiquen and then just finish off the game by dealing a lot of damage with it. Of course, both of them can be good in different matchups, so when you need to get down fast, Vespiquen is better, and when you need to take your time, Accelgor is better. Let's just start looking to the deck and then go for a match and see how this goes. So we start off with 2 Shaymin EX. This guy's here because of Shaymin for the setup ability, sorry. Obviously really strong. I don't really need to explain why Shaymin EX is in here. 4 Combi, 4 Vespiquen as far as the Vespiquen line goes, and then the 3 Shelmet and 3 Accelgor as far as the Accelgor line goes. We also have a different attacker in here in Mew EX. This guy can use both our other attackers' attacks if we have a DCE, and if we need to protect them for some reason because they're stage 1, so we might not have either the basic or the stage 1 itself, and we might not want to put these guys into harm's way, so attacking with the Mew EX is actually pretty decent, especially if we are using deck and cover because we just shuffled the basic and the energy. And of course it also hits for the psychic type, which might be important in a match or two. There's one Muna, long distance hypnosis, might be very important ability which gains a turn against something like Seismitoad or something like that. Then we have a Musharna, which evolves from Muna and actually allows us to use Forewarn, which is a very strong ability. Allows us to look at the top 2 cards of our deck, get one of them into our hand, and the other one stays on top of the deck. So it's kind of Slurpuff that's actually better because we can actually choose between the cards that we draw. Of course, it retreats for more than the Slurpuff, but because we get to choose the card, I think this attack is actually better. Sorry, the ability, not the attack. We have 3 Unknown in here. These guys, for Farewell Letter, of course, it allows us to just discard them and increase the damage that Vespiquen does while having a shorter deck. So it's like our deck is only 57 cards and not 60. We have 2 Wobbuffet in here. If we use deck and cover, Wobbuffet is potentially the best Pokemon to promote because Bite Barricade, while this guy is active, locks our opponent out of abilities if their Pokemon are not psychic, of course. So it locks the Shaymins and stuff like that, so it seems to be really good. Of course, if Wobbuffet is active and the opponent has an Archeops in play, we can actually evolve. So Wobbuffet is really good. Of course, sometimes we don't want to lose our Wobbuffet or the opponent has a way to 1-hit KO them, so it's better if we just retreat into a Robo Substitute. So we have 2 of each. We have the Computer Search as the ace spec of choice, really good consistency card. And as far as balls go, we have 3 Level Ball and 3 Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball grabs us the Shaymin and the Mew and the Musharna. But other than that, of course, also the Wobbuffet. But then, other than that, the Level Ball grabs us anything and doesn't ask us to discard cards. Sometimes discarding is important, especially if we're going for the Shaymin EX. So we're playing a split between those cards. We have 1 Switch in here. Of course, we also have Float Stones, but Switch allows us to retreat from a special condition, like a paralysis or a poison. And also allows us to retreat if our Pokemon already has the Muscle Band down. 4 VS Seeker to grab our supporters back, and those supporters are 3 Colress. It works wonderfully in this deck because we actually bench a lot of Pokemon. 1 N, this guy is really good in this the early stages of the game because it draws us a lot of cards, and of course if we are a little bit behind our opponent. If they took some knockouts on our, I don't know, Shamins or Mew or something like that, we can end them and just get back into the game that way. And then we have 4 Professor Sycamore, which are the best draw supporter in the game. We also have 1X Maniac. This is cool because it allows us to hit the AG Slash, for example, with which we couldn't kill otherwise. So it fixes some of our unwinnable matchups that we might otherwise have. 2 Lysander, also because it's a really good and disruptive card, which might allow us to grab that knockout on the Keldeo X, for example. So it's a really good tactical card. We have 3 Forest of Giant Plants. It's a stadium of choice for this deck because, of course, it allows us to evolve our grass guys in the same turn that we play them, so we can attack out of nowhere. And then 2 Floatstone and 2 Muscle Bands. The Muscle Bands we actually reutilize if we are using deck and cover, because they also get shuffled back into the deck, so we might just draw into them again and just play them again. As far as energy goes, as I said, only 4 DCE, and that's the deck. Let's just go play it. I was being honest when I said I never play the game with this deck, so let's see how I go. Let's see how I fare against... I hope my opponent is playing a good deck, because I really want to showcase this one. Okay, it's the opponent's turn, so he's going first. I think I'm going with a Mew EX, because I have a Shelmet and I have Ultra Balls in hand, so I can grab the Accelgor and use Mew EX and just shuffle it. Okay, so the opponent is playing a Pokemon that hits us for weakness. I wish we could actually do it the other way around. Let's see how this goes. I could maybe go for the... try to go for the Accelgor this turn, but I think it's a little bit risky. Okay, so the opponent played the Water Energy. I don't even know if he's playing Double Colorless Energy, so maybe he doesn't. And if he doesn't, and he plays a second energy on his Mewtwo, he doesn't kill our Mew, and then we can shuffle it back. So I think I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to discard the Sycamore, because I might decide to play another supporter, and then grab the Shaymin EX. I think I'm going to play this energy first on the Shelmet, because I might draw another one, and we have a Level Ball, which is great because we can grab the second Shelmet, just to make sure that we have another Pokemon for if the opponent Lysanders it out, for example. And I have the Ultra Ball, but I don't really know if I'll play it. I think I'll save it and play Dian. Yeah, okay, we drew a DCE, which is really nice. I have an Ultra Ball, but actually I think I'll end my turn here. So the plan is, if the opponent only plays a Water Energy, it doesn't kill our Mew, so we can just go for the Accelgor and shuffle the Mew back into the deck. That's what I'm going for here. Did not put the Wobbuffet down because it didn't really seem necessary. Let's see how this goes. There's a Battle Compressor. Is our opponent playing... yeah, my opponent might be playing... I'm waiting for the Battle Compressor to resolve so that I can look into my opponent's discard pile, because I think this might be the Blastoise deck. Archie's Blastoise. If that is, and he actually manages to get that Blastoise in play, I guess he can drop the third energy on his Mewtwo EX and just get rid of our Mew. That would suck. For sure, this guy, yeah. Third energy just kills us because each energy would deal 40 damage, and that's 120. Okay, so yeah, it's the Archie's Blastoise deck, for sure. Okay, our opponent plays an Ultra Ball and grabs the Blastoise, and then discards it for the computer search. Very well played, so now my opponent is in fact going to get that Blastoise in play. Okay. Archie's, okay, there's the Blastoise and 5 new cards into my opponent's hand. If he has an energy, just kills our Mew EX. We cross our fingers, nope. He's in fact going to go for the knockout. That's unfortunate. Wish I had another Mew because I could just maybe manage to get a knockout on that Mewtwo EX with a Vespiquen potentially. I'm just going with a Shelmet. I might be able to deck and cover here. Okay, there's a Wobbuffet. I think I'll retreat into it because it will allow me to not let my opponent play any more energy on the Blastoise, and I'm actually going to grab it because if I draw a Muscle Band, Okay, we got the forest. Do I put it down? Yeah, I think my opponent is not playing a lot of stadium, so discard this and just grab that Accelgor. I did not grab the double colorless, sorry, the muscle band, so I'm not going to be able to kill that Blastoise, but I am going to paralyze it and poison it and just go with Wobbuffet. So now my opponent has to have a switch if he wants to retreat from this. If he has a Keldeo, it's not enough. So because a lot of these decks count on Keldeo to retreat, I feel really good hiding behind the Wobbuffet. Really feel like this Blastoise has its days numbered. So my opponent goes for the slow energy on the Mewtwo. And there's the Rough Seas, okay. So he's in fact going to heal off the damage. So this guy is going to have 50 HP next turn. Doesn't really concern me too much. All my guys hit for weakness. I just wish I hit... okay, so we actually have a Vespiquen. I'm going to N. Get my opponent less cards in his hand. Okay, we got the... yeah, I can play the stadium. We can evolve here, and I actually think I'm going to... Yeah, I need 2 cards, actually. I need the way to evolve from the... Either the energy and the... Yeah, we need the energy, the DC, and the Floatstone, but we will not be able to grab them. So I'm just going for one of them here, I think. I mean, this guy might get knocked out anyway, so I think I'm just going for the DC and just charge up our dude, yeah. I think this Wobbuffet might just die here. Once again, it's still the same. The opponent is not paralyzed, but he still can't retreat or play energy from his hand, so Keldeo is no good for him. So I'm feeling fine about this. Of course, the opponent can always play a Lysander and just destroy us, because he would get rid of one of our guys and of course not be under item ability lock, but my opponent does not, so he just passes the turn. That's perfect for us. We actually managed to gain a turn with the Wobbuffet, so I'm just going to Sycamore here because I will draw more cards. One more card precisely, so we drew the Floatstone. That's really nice. I'm going to level, so 1, 2, 3 Pokemon. Okay, I'm going to grab... Can go for the Unknown for extra damage, but actually that doesn't seem to be the best thing ever. I think I'm just going to shuffle an Accelgor back. And shuffle... yeah, this is hard, man. I don't know. Maybe I should go for the Muna. Yeah, I don't know. I think... Yeah, I think I have to go with Accelgor. Just shuffle this thing back. I could play an energy, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I really want to kill that Mewtwo also. Yeah, I don't think I can here, so I'm just going to... Next turn I can take a knock on the Mewtwo. So yeah, we are kind of stacking everything on top of the Vespiquen working or not, so let's see how this goes. Good news is the opponent is going to take an extra knockout on the Wobbuffet, so... And this turn you will not be able to get any of these guys going. And we have an extra Wobbuffet down, so... The Keldeo cannot rush in, neither can my opponent. Okay, so he just knocks out that guy, so I'm just going to go with this one. Okay, we have an Ultra Ball. That's really nice, actually, because we have the stadium down, so we can actually grab another Combi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think I'm just going for a Combi, discarding this, so it's the 9th. And I can evolve right away because of the stadium. And I'm going to Vespiquen for... Let's see how many cards. Yeah, the Sycamore draws more, but actually, and just lets my opponent just stays with. I'm just discarding this Unknown and see what I draw. Okay, it's an extra card in our discard pile. So let's just be revenge here. 110 damage. So even if the opponent just knocks out our Vespiquen, we can just go with the second one and just take the knockout anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Let's see what our opponent does. Maybe he gets another Blastoise down. There's another Shaman, okay. My opponent has a lot of gas. There's a Rough Seas, which is kinda too late, I think. We took all the use we could get out of that stadium. And there's the knockout, so we are actually hitting for more damage, so 110 damage anyways without the muscle band. So I play this thing, so 1, 2, I already have 2 Vespiquens in the discard pile, but at the same time, we will draw on 1 extra card of the Colress, so I think I will actually. We got the Moon, I think I'm going to put it down, and the rest I'll keep so that I can discard. Actually think, I don't need to put this down, so I'm just going to use Vespiquen to be revenge. Okay, we took the knockout on the Mewtwo, got rid of all those energy, so my opponent actually needs to get the Blastoise down if he wants to attack with a Keldeo. And if he doesn't, I will try to bring that Keldeo into the active position and just take a knockout. Oh, nice, our opponent just passed the turn, and we actually drew it the last ender, nice. I'm 100% going to do that, but first let's just use the Forewarn, let's see what we have. So we have the DC and another Vespiquen, so I also have the DC in my hand, so I'm just going to grab the Vespiquen, put it down, put a DC there, put this thing down as well, and then just grab that guy and just take a knockout. Our opponent is in kind of a pickle. I mean, his dude, if he actually gets the Blastoise down, he can actually charge up that the Articuno and actually kill the Vespiquen and be able to draw a couple of prizes. So that's a little bit scary. Articuno with the ancient trait that allows him to draw an extra prize is actually kind of scary. But I think that's the card is a little flippy. Let's see what the opponent does. So Trainer's Mill. There's a Via Seeker, okay. Of course, the opponent can also Lysander out one of our Shamans and kill it. I don't know. If he doesn't, I mean, I'm definitely going to take the knockout. I've dealt 110 damage last turn, I think, so we have to actually play the Sycamore to do that. The opponent played the Execute down, so that can't be good for us. That cannot be good, and also the Battle Compressor, so let's see what he actually discards. Another Battle Compressor, okay. He might just be able to play the Blastoise. I mean, he played the Execute down, so I think he's got the plan in his head, so let's see. A lot of energy down. Just discarded the Muscle Band and the Whale. Yeah, exactly. So Ace in the Hole. He's actually going down to 1 card in his deck, so we might be able to also just deck my opponent. I don't know how feasible that is, but it's definitely possible. If my opponent does not have enough energy, he might just put us to sleep, but I'm totally fine with that because he's the one that has to win next turn if he puts us to sleep. So, and he has the Blastoise, so there's really no way that he would have the energy in hand and not play them this turn, I think. Really nothing to gain there. He would bet everything on a coin flip and then get just 0 cards in his deck, so I don't think that's going to happen. So this guy can actually put us to sleep with the 1 single energy. So Execute coming back to my opponent's hand. Oh, Superior Energy Retrieval, that's brutal. He's going to draw 4 energy, so he actually can go for the flips on the Articuno. 23 coins, so he actually needs to hit 2 coins. So yeah, I'm actually feeling good about this, I think. I mean, is he going to kill our guy with a Keldeo? I don't think he can do that, because then I just kill him with a second Vespiquen. So yeah, he's actually going to try to put me to sleep and we wake up, so that's the game. I can just, yeah, my opponent GG's us and we will GG back. It was actually a very close game. Yeah, I'm just going to use the Sycamore, discard the rest of this Pokemon and just be revenge this guy away. 160 damage, that's the match. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is a very interesting deck. I don't know if I played it right or not, but we actually managed to win the game against a very, very strong deck. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and see you guys next time. Bye!